So I've been asked how it all started, how like I started selling narcotics and how I got into it. Turns out, not your average story. How I started selling weed and all that stuff and how old I was. And it's not like a regular story that you would often hear. So I was hanging out with a friend in 6th grade. I think I was like 10. And I used to hang out at his house a lot because his parents had money and they had computers, and we always used to play computer games when we were younger. And he had a tutoring session that day, a math tutor, Asian dude that was in high school, and we were talking to him, and he's like asked us if we know about weed and da da da, and we were like, no, can we see it? He shows it to us, and I was curious, so I was asking him, oh well, how much is this? How much do you have to sell to profit and all this other stuff? So he breaks down the math to us, tutors us with weed. So he's like, there's 3 bags, each one's $20. You sell 2, you sell 3, you get $60. It only costs you 50, so you keep 10, you give me back 50, and then we'll keep going from there. And I was like, oh, that's not bad. I only have to sell 3 and I get $10. So very next day, we're in school. I'm in 6th grade. I show a couple of 8th graders, and not like an hour later, had a principal or the dean come to my classroom and pull me out of the classroom, tells me to take my bags and everything. And I see the security guard there with them. I'm with the dean, walking towards her, gonna walk with her to her office, and I see the security guard going into the classroom, and I see them like shifting through my desk. So I already knew what it was. So I go to the dean's office, and they're asking me a bunch of questions, and because I'm a kid, I'm 10 years old, they can't search me, they can't physically search me. So they're asking me to open up my book bag and blah, 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 and take the books and flip them upside down or whatever. And I had cargo pants on, right? Cargo sweatpants. And the bottom pockets, you can't flip them out. So they asked me to flip my top pockets inside out, and I was able to do so. I had it in my cargo pants in my right pocket. So when I pushed my hands into my pocket and they asked me to flip it out, I'm like, they're cargos, they don't do that. But what I did was I pushed the bag down into the bag and I pulled it like this. So technically it was right in here, inside my hand the whole time. I was like, see, I don't have nothing back in my pocket. Man, my leg was shaking. I was so nervous. So they go through it, and then they break it down to me. Well, someone had told us that you had brought in some marijuana, and we just want to let you know that that's illegal. And if you have any, it's best to tell us now. I was like, no, I don't, whatever, because I was like, they made it this far, they ain't fine on. So I told them that's what it is. I was like, I don't have nothing, and I don't know who told you that. Somebody's lying. They're like, okay. It was the end of the day too, so she's like, all right, just get your stuff together and go. And I'm just letting you know now, if you ever bring anything into the school and we find out, that you will be arrested. We'll have to call the cops. I was like, okay, no problem, cool. I leave, and let me tell you something. I walk home so fast because I was afraid that they were like calling the cops and like I was being followed home. So like I ran home. I put the stuff away. I go to one of these computer places where like everybody pays to play on the computer. It was a game called Counter-Strike. We were all playing, whatever. So I'm in there, I'm playing, and an 8th grader comes up to me. Yeah, I heard you got weed, right? And at this point I'm nervous. I'm like, damn, this might be a setup. But I've seen the kid around, and I was like, I think he's serious. He's like, you know where I could get? I was like, yeah. I was like, I know somebody. I didn't want to tell him it was me because obviously that day I found out you get told on pretty quickly. So I go to my house, I grab it, I come back, I give it to the guy. He gives me the money. He goes, oh, this, and he smells it, and he goes, oh, this is good. And I was like, yeah, it's the best, right? I didn't know none. So he left. I got my first $20. That was one. That day, 2 more people came. Boom, sold out first day, basically. And I was like, okay, boom, $10. And then I had people asking me like that whole week, but I didn't know this guy, so I had to wait a whole week to see him again. So, and it just started from there. I didn't even stay with that guy. Like I found somebody else that was like more accessible, that was older and had more whatever. But yeah, that's how it all started, with a friend's math tutoring session. The rest was pretty much history. Like any other thing in business and finance, eventually you scale up, switch products, increase margins, diversify your portfolio, add to the repertoire. And then it was all downhill from there, man. That's how it started.